Yes, sir. My name is JERRODBROSEAN. I like to talk about music on Monday, and just like every other Monday, I'm back to talk about music. Now, if you like this type of content, make sure you like and follow me for more, because I'll be back on Monday to talk about music. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I introduce you to Glenn Lewis. Yes, sir, Doctor.
And don't you forget it. Don't you forget your way home with that little girl.
In case you was wondering, yes, the Glenn Lewis is still making music today. Glenn Lewis had the voice, the awards, the hit records. So why wasn't he one of the biggest R&B stars in the early 2000s? Glenn Lewis's voice was one of the voices that helped pioneer neo-soul music in the early 2000s. People remember him for Don't You Forget It, and if you know that record, then you already know that voice. But Glenn Lewis' story is much bigger than just one song. But before I tell you what really happened, make sure you hit that follow button. That way I know to come back every Monday and give the flowers to the artists who deserve it. Yes, sir. Now let me tell you what happened. Glenn Lewis came from Toronto, where he started to make a name for himself before he signed to Epic Records. Then in 2002, he released World Outside My Window. Don't You Forget It became a top 40 pop hit in the US, which helped establish Glenn Lewis's celebrity. But let's take a step back, because I'm sure you didn't know, before he saw this type of success, he was already receiving Juno nominations. So doing it independently and working hard wasn't new to Glenn Lewis, because World Outside My Window helped him win 2 Juno Awards. He would later earn 2 Grammy nominations, working with artists Amel and Stanley Clarke. Where's the Love? His talent led him to share stages with Stevie Wonder and Prince. So we're talking about a singer with a top 5 album, R&B success, Juno wins, and Grammy nominations. But then things changed. Glenn would go on to record 2 albums that were shelved. Say what now? They shelved this man out. Yeah, they shelved his albums. It would take more than a decade before a new Glenn Lewis album was released, because the talent never left. The industry momentum did. So I know you're probably wondering, where is Glenn Lewis now? Glenn Lewis is still making music to this day. In June 2026, Glenn Lewis dropped an album titled Overture, his first album in over a decade. Yes, sir. So after this, don't just go stream Don't You Forget It. Stream the entire album Overture. Follow him on all his social media accounts, because giving an artist their flowers shouldn't always be when you feel nostalgic. Support them while they're still creating. Yes, sir, Doctor. So did Glenn Lewis deserve to become one of the biggest R&B artists in the early 2000s? Let me know in the comments below. Because again, what do I know? My name is JERRODBROSEAN. I ain't always right, but I love you, and ain't nothing you can do about that. I'm just saying, don't you forget it. Matter of fact, you go get that Overture on the socials and the DSPs. Cause that boy bad. Yes, sir. Where your mom at? That's a cold ass shot.
Thug life.